Summer. Bobby Pearson, we found your retainer in last night's compost. Please head to the counselor's office to retrieve it. And the winner of yesterday's mystery meat contest was Alan Fold with some kind of bee. Due to last year's aquatic incident, all swimmers are required to know how to swim. Guten Tag and bienvenidos, listeners, and welcome to Camp Über Cinco, the podcast game show where we deep dive top fives. I, Brian Ernst, will be your lead counselor today as we're talking top 5 summer camp activities. And boy, do we have the matchup for you.
His uniform was thrown in with the Reds, so standing at what I assume is 6'8" with a pink uniform, short shorts, and a name so smudge, we don't know what to call him to make him angrier. It's either Nate or Nathaniel Hennenfent. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, said Nathan angrily.
And the man who thought it was a basketball camp and only brought knee-high red and blue striped socks and a single Minnesota Timberwolves jersey and shorts to wear for 12 weeks, it's Mitchell Brinkman.
Hey, what's up? I live for the big ticket. I dive down to my knees at his altar. Kevin Garnett, this is all dedicated to you today. Thank you so much for having me, Brian, on Über Cinco. That's the name of the podcast.
That's correct.
Thanks for having me today. And I love camp, so that's why I'm here.
Good. If you all want to get blown to the moon, head on over to bizbear.biz to submit your suggestions for upcoming shows and to watch and share your favorite episodes. But if you're new to the den, welcome, and let us wake you up out of hibernation with a quick rundown of the rules.
Each player in the den has spent time with today's topic, arranging their top 5 answers in order of importance. Those answers have been submitted to the host who will moderate the game, awarding points to the player with the most poignant answer.
Starting with their number 5 choice, we will move up the ranks until we reach each of their top answers. But if both contestants happen to have the same answer on their list, well, we have an Uber stare down.
You will hear the official Über Cinco siren, and both players must reveal their answer and what number they ranked their submission. An Uber stare down is all or nothing, with one player earning 3 points. After all answers have been read, the host will reveal the final score.
And as a reminder, don't forget to stick with us until the end of the show, where I, Brian Ernst, will give you my Fast 5 send-off, where I'll rattle off the definitive list of the top 5 reasons I am not built for camp. And finally, as host, I am entitled to institute a house rule for today's game. Bonus points to anyone who describes the best camp prank pulled on them or that they pulled on other folks. Now, did you pull any camp pranks out there?
Oh, yeah.
Too bad you got to think about it. All right. Nathaniel, you won the pre-show pantsing competition where you exposed all of our junk to unwilling onlookers. You know, that fun camp game. So you get to go first.
My number 5 is, this will take some explanation, but it's watching a 7'2" man urinate in a handicapped urinal.
Wait,
yes,
what?
I think we're definitely going to need some backstory.
Are there handicapped urinals? I thought it was just a handicapped stall that has a toilet.
Yes, the handicapped urinal.
Oh,
so
okay.
For those of you who've never been in a men's room,
yeah,
the urinals are lined up on a wall, as you may expect, quite uniformly. And then at the very end, there is one that is lower, so
that's
that somebody who is in a
urinal.
Who in a wheelchair can approach it.
Oh, what? I always thought that was the kid one. Wow, I feel like
either way, it doesn't really matter what you call it. It is for somebody who it's more accessible to be lower.
Sure.
There is a lower urinal, so whatever you want to call it, the lower urinal. There's always one.
Yes.
Never 2, just 1, because there is no chance that 2 people might need it at the same time, so there's only just one. So I was 18 years old.
Okay.
I was at basketball camp. It was teen basketball camp. So my entire high school team had gone to the University of Illinois, which is where I think 3 of my stories take place at. But so we were all there. And this was the year before the 2004-2005 season when Illinois went to the championship game. They had
Of course.
Darren Williams, D. Brown, Luther Head, all future NBA players. Very exciting. They were refereeing our games. Lots of fun.
Yep.
And so we got to play. This was one of the perks of the camp, is every team got to play one game on the floor of Assembly Hall where Illinois played their basketball games. We actually played right on the floor.
The Fighting Illini.
So we got to go. That's right.
Sorry.
And we also, one of the perks was all of these players were working at the camp as referees and scorekeepers. So who was refereeing our game but none other than Nick Smith. Nick Smith, who was an absolute piece of trash garbage basketball player, but he happened to be 7'2".
That's
and
a big guy.
My line about
it's a big piece of white bread. Sorry.
So anyways, Nick Smith, halftime comes around, the whistle blows, and Nick Smith just bolts off. Well, bolts off is wrong. He looked like a deer on ice skates as he tried to get off the court as quick as he could, and he runs towards the locker rooms and where the bathrooms were.
And you chase him because you're like, I got to get a look at this thing.
we have to go to the bathroom, and so we walk in there, and it's a large bathroom, but there's teams that are going to be playing after us. There's going to be a game starting immediately after ours, and so members of those two teams are using the bathroom before their game starts. And so Nick Smith apparently really had to go, and he couldn't hold it. And so we walk in there, and then there's a bunch of average-sized basketball-playing high school kids standing there, backs to us, using the urinals. And there, at the end, by the small urinal, is 7'2" Nick Smith with his legs in a perfect diamond shape, squatting down so he can reach the kids' urinal at all 7'2". It looked like if you want a comparison of what this would look like, do a Google image search of a giraffe drinking water. That was what it looked like. And we all unfortunately couldn't contain our laughter as we walked in and turned the corner. And then we were like, well, we got to get out of here before he turns around and sees who is laughing at us, because we don't want him to start calling the game in the other team's favor. So that was that's the end of the story.
Did he follow the bathroom rules where when he was using that urinal, he had his pants all the way down at his ankles?
No, he did not.
Okay. Oh, that's
if
good.
you slip from that height, that's a death sentence. I mean,
yeah.
Oh, good Lord.
That reminds me of when you go back to like your elementary school, with like bathrooms designed for third graders, and you come back for an alumni event, I don't know, whatever. And you go to the bathroom and then you forget, like, oh my God, none are adult height. They're all toddler height urinals here. And then you leave and your ankles are just splashy wet. And you're like, no, thank you. But,
yeah.
No
Did
good.
you ever have kids who played the game in your school where they would start peeing at the urinal and then just keep taking steps back, like they were pouring a long coffee just to see how far you could go?
Yeah,
and then it's just
I was great at that game.
Yeah, and then the whole floor is just sopping wet, and you're just like, I really hope there's no drunk kids that stumble in here this fall, because this is going to be a rough one to clean up, folks.
That's why you have to maintain pressure. So there is now, it's like a good stream throughout, and then there's not a big
We all know
spill.
you have a powerful stream,
Thank
Mitch,
you.
and
Thank
it's
you.
the most powerful around. Therefore,
Thank you so much.
You could have that pressure washer pressure. That Home Depot Ryobi pressure as you walk back, while we're sitting here with our own maybe little syringe plungers in comparison. Okay, not all of us can compete.
It's what the key is. You just hold it till you can't hold it anymore. That's the key. Is you
that's healthy. That won't cause any infections.
No, not at all. I'm going to be healthy until I'm 105. No doubt.
That's great.
So, yep.
I'm just really happy it took me that long to come up with two analogies for different kinds of pressure live on air. So now we're going to move on to Mitch. We're going to go to your number 5.
Did you just forget my name for a moment there?
No, because I was going to say something else. And
okay.
Switch gears. Nathan already said his number 5.
Yep.
We're going to go to Mitch for his number 5. And I'm not going to do any stare downs today because they're all about fucking basketball. So, God damn you.
Got it. Okay, so
Got me hosting a sports show. Let's go. Your number 5.
all right, Brian,
Mitch.
this is a classic number 5. I'm playing to the host here. This is playing basketball at camp. Now, this is a sleepaway camp. Imagine tall pines, knotty wood cabins. That's KNOT, not NAUGHT. Just want to mention that.
Glad that was clarified.
Yeah. So it's activity time. You're playing hoops on the basketball court, or you're out in the field playing capture the flag or dodgeball or something like that. And you're at 11, 12 years old. You're competitive. You like to move around. You're me. So you just play your frickin' heart out. I mean, you're leaving it all out on the field. You're leaving your blood, sweat, and tears in the tall grass. And then at the end, you're sweaty as fuck. But a big part of camp, obviously, is, the opposite sex, flirting. That's, trying to attract a mate for, 72 hours, and then you leave, you never see him again. But you get so sweaty, you have to dip back to the cabin. And this is when I discovered in between activities, excuse me, you have to dip back to in between activities. This is when I discovered Axe body spray wipes.
Oh God.
I'm not sure if they still make them. Maybe they're called dude wipes now. Maybe they're called fresh guys,
that's
like mini
else.
towels. Yeah. Okay. But I'd pop back, wipe down the pits and the just the hot spots. You just grab the hot spots quick with a little wipe down. Maybe change a t-shirt if you're too sweaty.
Are they the same scent as what you would get out of the aerosol cans?
Yeah. That same trashy. It's like part hot garbage, part flour, part I don't know, what is that smell of lime juice? I'm not sure, but
I want to just give
desperation is what I want.
Desperation.
There we go. Yeah.
Props
I was
to the
going to say
marketing
sexual
team.
prowess, but yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's a lot of sexual prowess in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade when I discovered Axe. I think it was a lot of marketing teams finally figured out, how can we get boys to be even lazier when it comes to antiperspirant?
Mm-hmm.
Let's just put it in a can, not have it be antiperspirant.
Nope.
Make it smell like absolute hot garbage and tell them spraying it under their arms and one stripe across their chest will make the girls fawn over them. And you know what? The second 6th grade hit and you had to go start changing in a locker room.
Yep.
We all bought it.
Yes.
And the mix of Axe smells in the air from every guy. Oh my God. Sorry, please. Continue.
Just the thin, sad layer of Axe doing its level best to try and cover up just like the smell of ass from an hour straight of running around. It's like, it just never worked. And I know I did it too, and I didn't have time to shower in junior high. You'd go back to class. I'd sit down and start to do math very quickly and well, by the way. And I'd be like, oh God, this is just, I can just smell myself. And I looked down and forgot to realize just giant wet spots underneath my armpits. And just, I just got to give up. I'm just math guy. I'm not sexual prowess guy in this period. So
I'm just not sexual prowess guy yet. Just wait till I am sexual prowess guy, Mom, and I'll make you proud.
One day.
It's a big rite of passage in any young man's life when they switch over from Axe to Irish Spring and realize that's the true way to a woman's heart.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. This actually, me being a sweaty kid, this directly led to me starting to wear as if I was an absentee father in the 50s. I started wearing undershirts to sop up the sweat so I could go and do a little exercise, but my overshirt still looked clean and fresh. But I loved going to camp though, because there's almost, when you go to a northern Minnesota sleepaway camp, there's almost no one that's good at basketball. So you come from the cities, you're the city kid, play a little hoops. You're just wrecking folks. You're taking ankles home. So
those country boys can't play ball.
They can't. They cannot. So
I think Nathan would disagree with you, but
well, I mean,
I'm
Minnesota.
nodding my head strongly.
Minnesota's a difference. I'm sure if they're like, let's all play hockey, I'd be like, I'm gonna go build a popsicle cross in the lodge. So
That's the key. Play basketball in a sport in a state that's known for hockey. You can really stand out.
exactly.
That is the key.
Exactly. So yeah, that was, and I think I was the only one in my cabin who had to do this because I was, prematurely sweaty for my age, I think. So, but
So you were a small wet boy.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So,
All right, I got to score out these number 5s. Mitch, I'm going to sympathize with you. I know all about the being a wet boy, so I will give you the 3 points. And Nathan, for the wonderful description of a giraffe drinking water in a male public bathroom, I will give you the 3 points as well.
oh, I had a quick question too for
Yes.
both of you here. When you were younger, did it ever increase your level of crush on someone if when you were all like playing sports as a class, they were either very good, or just like played hard, like competed hard? Because it definitely did for me.
No.
No?
I have no reference because the girls I grew up with in my class were all outlandishly good at sports and
they were.
outlandishly competitive. So
Oh, okay.
I don't know what it would be like to
So that was
hang
just
out with a
baseline.
normal fifth grader. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Okay. Yeah, because my friends used to always make fun of me after a thing. They'd be like, we saw you out there with you and Jenny Doherty. You guys were having sports sex for the last half hour. And I'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, you guys were flirting through sports. You were passing each other the ball. You were setting screens for each other. Yeah. So I was just curious about that. So sounds like Nathan, there's crushes all over that field. If I was
Yeah.
in that game.
They're all good.
Yeah.
Well, I can't pick.
All 4 people I grew up with. Yes.
Nathan, that brings us to your number 4, sir.
It's very simple, number 4. And this is watching, it again happens at the same basketball camp, University of Illinois. There with my basketball team, watching 3 of them try to complete the gallon of milk challenge.
Oh.
And if you don't know what the gallon of milk challenge is, that is drinking an entire gallon of milk in under 1 hour. Now, one person tried this, and they thought the idea was to pace yourself. Didn't work. And so somewhere around minute 35 or 40, just started puking all over. Now, this is how stupid teenage boys are. They saw how much pain he was in. I believe it was Kevin Kane that went first. I could be wrong. It's been a long time. And then this other kid, I think it was Corey, who was like, well, I could definitely do it. So he went next. And he thought the secret was you drink a bunch up top, and then you take a little vacation, and then you sprint home at the end. That didn't work. So Kevin and Corey are both just rolling around in agonizing pain and sharing a toilet to just spew milk into it at regular intervals. And I don't remember who the third person was, but a third person thought, yeah, I think that's for me. That's how I want to spend my night. And he thought the secret was to just eat tons and tons of saltine crackers while he was doing it. It didn't work. And at that point, finally, there were no more takers. And I don't even drink milk, so I was never in the conversation.
Oh.
But I stayed away from this. And if I was ever going to start drinking milk that evening, and what I saw definitely turned me off for the rest of my life. There you go.
A gallon barely fits in the stomach as it is. I'm gonna take up more space with big, dense saltine crackers.
That was legitimately the strategy. I don't know where that came from, but
This is a very common young boy thing to do, because I remember we did this once, and I also am not a huge milk fan, so I'm like, I want to do it with chocolate milk, because at least I could taste it. So I drank about a third of the gallon, and I was just like, I'm done. Like, I feel full. I'm not going to shove this down and do anything. But I was with my friend Kevin, friend of the show. He downed an entire gallon of milk.
Oh,
and he kept it down.
wow.
And then to the point where he's like, my stomach really hurts. I'm going to go force this outside. And then he went outside, made himself throw it up, because he was just like, this is just too much. But he kept it in. He drank it in less than an hour, and he kept it in until he was like, I want to get this out.
Yeah.
And I was
so he still failed. That's not a success in the challenge.
I think it is a success. If you could get the whole thing down and it's been an hour, you win.
Wow. Now
I don't think anybody's a winner.
The only winner is Big Milk. I think they created this challenge in 2001 with the help of Steve-O and Johnny Knoxville. Like, guys, please.
Those Got Milk posters were still in our school in the early 2000s.
Mountain Dew is getting way too popular with young kids. We need them back on milk. All right. We need Bone Strong out there.
Big Dairy. Let's go.
Okay. I'm curious here. If you're at basketball camp, why do you choose to do the gallon milk challenge at basketball camp? Is this planning for the future, or like on defense, you can just like drop toots all over the court as well to disorient?
Well, this is because we were 17 or 18 and your body can do anything at that age. I mean, because we were at basketball camp, we were playing 10 games a day. I mean,
10 games a day?
Yeah, it would be like 10 games a day. Well, at least my freshman and sophomore year, because I was playing some freshman and sophomore games and some senior games. It was like 10 games a day.
You would be on the bench like most of the game, right, Nathan? You'd be like watching.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I'm kidding. Okay.
I remember driving home with my parents after one of these camps, and I was like finally taking a nap in the back seat, and I started dreaming about the last game we had played, and I went for a steal and just stuck my hand out and slammed it into the window while I was asleep. It was a very painful awakening. But you can just go and go and go. And then every night we would order pizza from there would be like a swarm of people, like the poor pizza delivery people would be bringing like 1,000 pizzas and just tons of 18-year-olds storming on them. And nobody ever got the pizza they ordered. It was just first come, first serve. It would be like, hey, is this for Matt Dominic? It would be like, yep, that's me. And you'd run away with 10 pizzas and take them back up. But you would eat like half a pizza every night, and then you'd have like some shit for breakfast in the cafeteria, and then 5 minutes later, you'd play 32 minutes of a game without breaking a sweat. It was I yearned for the days when my body could handle that.
Wow,
I never had those days.
I was like, my days, I still drink a gallon of milk every day to maintain my bone density. So.
And to this day, his bones are thick. Mitch, what is your number 4, sir?
My number 4 is actually, you kind of emulated it in the intro. This is a classic sleepover camp. Again, tall pine trees, a beautiful lodge overlooking a lake. This is the camp I went to, the St. Louis County 4-H camp up in Biwabic, Minnesota was where my summer camp was.
You don't have to go into detail. Everyone knows the place.
Sorry, of course. And this was the early morning flag ceremony. This is a classic summer camp thing. Now, 4-H stands for Head, Heart, Hands, and Health. And for whatever reason,
what was the name of your club?
I wasn't officially in it. I just went to the camp. So
I'm gonna throw some more H's at you.
Okay.
Because in my hometown there were 2 4-H clubs. Believe it or not, we were big enough for 2 4-H clubs.
Wow. Was there FFA as well?
Yes, there was.
Oh my God! Wow. Okay.
But the 4-H clubs were Hoof and Hobby or Happy Hustlers.
Oh my God!
Can you guess which one I was in?
You were in the Happy Hustlers.
You know I was in the Happy Hustlers. Of course I was.
Of course he was in the Happy Hustlers.
State champion of bicycle safety when I was 13 years old. True story.
Wait. You show up to the contest not in a reflective vest and helmet. You put it on, and then they're like, boom, first prize, baby.
Oh, no. You had to do some basic bicycle maintenance, and you had to know some rules of the road, and you had to go through a little course. Now, at the regional event or the county event, I was docked for not having the proper reflector on the back of my bike, and so I was only an alternate. But then I got to go because who knows why somebody had ducked out of this. Who would want to miss it?
They were juicing. So, we got a juicing bike safety person.
So I go all the way down to Springfield to the state fair, and I'll be damned if I don't win the whole goddamn thing. Wow. So to that judge who docked me for not having the proper reflector, F you. I've been waiting 22 years to say that.
Okay.
I remember going out and my grandpa putting the right thing on the bike, so he was like, I think this is what will meet competition standards.
So I just, this is a competition of things you just do prior. Like I've showed up already. My bike's ready to go. Also, Nathan, you've never told us this. We are in the midst of a 2X state champ.
Yeah.
That's right.
Damn it.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Why do you keep this stuff to yourself?
Yeah, why do you need to tell us you are a bike safety state champion and explain what that is and how do you attain that goal? Because
I thought the Cornhusking state championship was much more glamorous.
I mean,
no way, sir. No way.
So, so you're going through the course and there's a stop sign and then they roll like a giant tire and you have to stop and let the tire go by so it doesn't hit you and then you keep going, or
the tire was stationary, but essentially, yeah. And you have to
throw a paper at a front door or anything like that?
No. You have to stop, park your bike, and walk the paper up to the door. Come on, Mitch. This is elementary stuff.
Oh my God. Okay. We need to go biking in Chicago sometime. Because you need to show me how to do it safely. Because I'm a hell on wheels out there. So, where was it? Oh yeah, the flag ceremony.
Number 4.
Yeah, number 4.
Yes.
This is a classic all-American activity. Every morning you wake up, you're bleary-eyed. It's before you have breakfast. My camp in particular, imagine a giant, sort of like rectangular, the main building from Jurassic Park. Think of that kind of shape, but it's just all wood, beautiful logs, that kind of thing. The main dining room overlooks the lake. Outside there's a giant stone flag patio, or flagstone patio. Thank you very much. But so every morning we would take the flag out, put it up. Someone was folding the American flag. You know, like you fold it in triangles and you kind of do that thing. So every morning and night we would either put it up or take it down. And one of the campers was assigned flag duties. He had to know how to fold the flag. And it was the best when some frickin', donk like, I don't know, Brandon Telsrow would get up there and wouldn't know how to fold the flag. And he'd be like, oh, Brandon's such a moron. And then also in the morning, you get to see what everyone actually looks like. Like no one's put on makeup yet. Everyone still has like their glasses on if they wear them. Because when you're at camp, and you're a kid, you want to look a little sexy, right, for the other kids. And so like you're probably wearing contacts if you're a girl, at least the camp I went to. And so you're kind of thinking like, oh my God, like Kelsey wears SpongeBob pajama pants. Like that's either cute or like, So there's like all these interesting little aspects of the flag ceremony. And then the best part is it's way too long. It's drawn out. And then the camp director is finally like, okay, let's go get some breakfast. And then it's a mad sprint back up the hill into the lodge to get in line for the breakfast buffet. So,
still in pajamas?
Still in pajamas. Still in pajamas. Or whatever you came out of your cabin in, but most kids just did pajamas. So, yeah.
Wow.
It's,
the sprint. This is something that's fascinated me. I remember there's a point when you're a kid when you realize, wait, you don't have to run and be first to everything. Like there's going to be people don't really grow out of that. Even when this is part of my series of thoughts on that adults are just children that never died, is this phenomenon
must kill the children.
It's present in airports. The longer the flight, the less it makes sense. You'll be sitting there next to your gate, waiting, and then people start to line up, and then everybody's like, well, I better line up. First of all, the seats are assigned. You're going to be sitting in the same place no matter what. Getting on the plane sooner is worse because once you're on that thing, you're not getting off until forever. You're locked in.
Yep.
So you want to be the last one to get on the plane.
Yeah.
And you want to be as comfortable for as long as possible. Okay. I've gone this. If I go any further on this, I'm going to get out my pie charts and my slides. This one drives me nuts.
No, I absolutely love this. This is what I don't get. If I'm first class, I don't want to be on the plane having people walk by me as I try and drink. I want to be in the first class lounge nearby drinking.
Correct.
And then you hear the PA like, "Oh, Mr. Beef Wellington, please approach the plane. Like, don't forget your gloves
when
and
there's
hats."
5 minutes before departure, then invite me on the plane.
This
Exactly.
is especially
My glass of
important
champagne.
if you're in first class, because based on the old Dimitri Martin joke, which is I don't fly first class, but I fart in first class. So if you're in first class when everybody walks by, you're going to have some serious crop dust action. happening.
Yeah. It just
That's what that was.
it makes no sense. It makes no sense. And also, if there's no room for your bag, then they just take it from you and they check it for you, and then you just get it back in the next city, and it's totally fine.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is so true.
Yeah. So,
Oh, wow.
what is? Oh yeah, about getting there first. My first year at camp, I sprinted to breakfast. My friends and I competing, but then you get older and you realize it's not cool to sprint to breakfast, and then you walk nonchalantly and you try and chat up, Kelsey or Tatiana or Kelly or whatever. So yeah, that's my number
Get it.
4.
It's all about the women for you.
It is chicks, man, girls. That's what it's about.
So far, do they play sports well enough for me to like them? And do they wear contacts and not fucking glasses so I can talk to them? That's all I've heard so far about camp.
Hey, not all glasses pair well with the face. So
Okay, well, let's start judging these girls earlier and earlier, starting at fucking sleepaway basketball flag ceremony camp. Jesus Christ. They don't even have a chance. For your misogynistic tendencies, you're only getting 2 points, Mitch.
I didn't say I was cool for it. I was a shithead still.
Nathan, because you said no one was a winner, I was going to give you 1 point, but then you told me you were a bike safety champion, so you're getting another point back. So 2 points all around here. Let's go snake round. We'll go back to Mitch for his number 3.
Okay. I just need to do a quick mid-game check-in. What was the house rule again?
I need a prank.
Oh, a prank. That's right. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. We're good. Okay, my number 3.
We're good.
We're good. My number 3 is this is one of my favorite things about camp is I know probably a lot of camps have like a dance or like an event that marks the closing of camp. That's just for the campers. It's either like a big skit night or a big like at night game of capture the flag. My camp, we did a dance. The last night it was a big dance, and the centerpiece of the dance. This is what all the strategy and the flirting and the jockeying led up to this moment. And that was when Nathan's very favorite Zeppelin song played. And this was a longtime camp tradition. For those of you who don't know, listening at home, Nathan's favorite Zeppelin song is Stairway to Heaven. And, is that not right? No, that's right. It's Stairway to Heaven. Yeah. It's the best
It's their
song.
only song. It's their only hit.
Yeah. If
There's nothing else, right?
if you go to his MySpace, it's just Stairway to Heaven lyrics, I think is what it is on his profile. But
They have so many better songs.
but so Stairway is how long, Nathan?
Oh, about 8 minutes.
8 minutes. Okay, so 8 minutes, it was always known as a slow dance at the camp. So you picked out the person you're going to dance for 8 minutes. So this is like, if you have been laying seeds, you've been planting seeds all week, this is when this flower pops forth from the ground, if you will. And my last year at camp, I remember the girl I wanted to dance with, someone else asked her first. And so I danced with this, I don't remember the young lady's name, but I had never talked to her. And
She had glasses, probably.
no, she did not have glasses. I just remember she had very wavy, heavy bangs, and she was bullied a lot by the other girls and the kids because I did not know exactly what this was at the time, but she was a diabetic, and so she had like an all the time insulin monitor pump thing, like on her hip, where it's like just always there.
That's worth making fun of.
Because kids are terrible.
Jesus.
Kids are shitty.
Yeah, good Lord.
And she was very tall too. And so people would say like, oh, she's got like a steroid pump in her and that's why she's so tall. And so she was just like out.
Good Lord.
It was the worst. It was very much the worst. And so I ended up dancing with her and I found out like she told me as she was staring at the ground, she was like, I've had a crush on you all week, and I'm really glad we could get to dance together. And it broke my heart so bad because I was about to be like, what's your name? I was like, I don't even know you. I've never even talked to you.
Oh no!
But
That's okay though. That's okay. There's still time for you to come back good out of this.
Yeah, I didn't ask that though. But then I was like, all right, well, hey, you know what? She seems like a very nice girl, and it was that thing when you're
11 and 12, and you're just so nervous you can't look someone else in the eye, and you're just, you're looking up, looking sideways. But 8 minutes of dancing, and it ended up being like a pretty nice dance. And then the next day we had a nice goodbye chat, and we chatted on AOL Instant Messenger for like a next couple weeks, and then as with most camp relationships, it kind of fizzled and went away and was never again. But I was first minute though, I was terrified. I was like, oh God, I gotta dance with this girl, and ended up being very nice. So that's my number 3.
Well, you've redeemed yourself, Mitch. You redeemed yourself. You are now a good boy in the world. But we'll have to see if Nathan can top your number 3 with his. What do you have, sir?
This was learning that I'm no longer in school and don't have to listen to adults, quote unquote, anymore.
Oh.
And the way that this came about, this was actually
bad boy story.
well, this was the summer after I graduated. So when I graduated, my school, Roseville High School, was being it was combining with another district, with Monmouth, to form the and they brainstormed. I was actually in the committee meetings. This is true. I was in the meetings where they were brainstorming names for the new district, and they had a bunch of ideas. And there was votes were taken. There was a whiteboard we were scribbling on. And do you know what we came up with?
I cannot wait to hear.
School District 237. No.
That's really weird, because I think our district actually is 238.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
But no, we came up with Monmouth Roseville. Okay.
Wow.
So
Jesus
Monmouth
Christ.
and Roseville had joined together to become District 200, and District 38 had become Monmouth Roseville 238. So anyways, the building I went to high school.
Thank God for your committee.
Yeah.
What would they have done without you?
They actually, I don't know why they thought I would care about any of this, since I was graduating and would never have anything to do with the district again. And eventually they stopped asking me to come to these meetings.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I was on the student advisory board about what should happen to the future of the district.
You invited me here for my creative brain, and you guys landed on Monmouth Roseville 238. Fuck you, my talents can be used elsewhere. Fuck off, hometown. Yeah.
Yeah. So this summer afterwards, they're stripping down my high school of everything related to it being Roseville High School. And they turned it into the junior high building. So I was on the crew. I needed a summer job. And so I joined up with a few of my friends, and we were on the team we were hauling out chairs and desks and stripping down bleachers and just real boring stuff. And we were doing it.
So your gift for graduating is literally dismantling the school you just graduated from.
There was a little bit of pleasure in it at times.
Okay. Yeah. I could totally see that.
This is a great summer job, because Nathan came in ripped to freshman year of college. I remember I was like, who is this guy? Was he like working out 6 hours a day? And you were like, no, I just moved an entire school this summer. So I was like, oh, okay.
I was just hauling desks up and down ramps all day long. But the guy one of the guys from the faculty who was in charge of it, this dude, I think his name was Eric something or other. I don't remember the last name for sure. I had a placeholder in the notes, but anyways, old Eric, he was a former college basketball player. He was still like probably 25, 26, and he was a coach or something. And he was in the Monmouth district, so I didn't really know him. So this is the first contact.
Sure.
Anyways, he was kind of a dick about the whole thing, and I didn't like him, and I was just like, nah, whatever. I don't want to listen to this guy. So finally, the project came to an end. School starts up. I'm back at DePaul. I end up going home for the homecoming football game. I'm with some of my friends. We go out. Now, one of my friends, who's a year younger, she was still in high school at the new district, 238. Now, she shows up to the football game, and she is drunk out of her mind, just beyond wasted. And so Eric Matthews. There we go.
He
was the athletic director, and he he decides he's going to get to the bottom of this, and he's going to try and find this person who is really drunk. And so we think this is hilarious. So we start sending him in like, did you see so-and-so? Oh, yeah, they went that way. So we're just sending him on a wild goose chase to the complete opposite end of the property. And so our friend gets away. And then we're standing in the end zone chuckling and having a good time. And then the game's over. So we're all just going to go home. And now there had been a bunch of litter that had been thrown on the ground. And as happens at football games, now, I was not responsible for this, and neither were my friends. We were just kind of standing there. And then a bunch of us in a group start walking away. And here comes Eric, all 6'6" frame of him. And he comes up and he just sticks his hands up and he goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. And we all stop. And he points at like a bunch of trash. He's like, nobody's going to pick that trash up, and like stares at us. And in that moment, my friends and I that had graduated looked at each other and were like, this guy has absolutely no power over us. And so we turned, we looked at him, we laughed, and then we walked straight past him. And it was one of the best moments of my entire life.
Yeah, fuck you.
Up to that point. Hey, he's the one who's employed. He can clean it up.
That's true. That's very fair. Very fair. Very fair. Wow.
Okay.
Did he have a response, or did he just drop his head and then slowly walk towards the trash?
He did yell something out of after we were walking away, and I don't really remember what it was, because it was just sort of a watershed moment where it was like, I really don't have to, this has no application to me whatsoever. Like I am an independent citizen. I am a civilian. I am no longer under the remit of the school people.
Wow. So
you could just litter wherever the fuck you want.
You can admit it was your litter, Nathan. You're tying yourself in knots.
I was thinking it would have been a great little button on the scene if I had like a drink in my hand and thrown it away. But you can actually get fined for littering if I was caught in the act. So that would have.
This is when you finish a Snickers bar, or at least half of it, because a whole one, way too sugary. And then you finish the second half, and then you pop the wrapper in Eric Matthews' front pocket and go, take care of that for me, bud, and just give a little tap, and then walk off.
I did some fact checking here, and it is District 238.
Wow.
And I went to go, you can actually fill out an online bully report now for the school. So maybe we should fill out a few and send them in.
List Eric Matthews. Be like, his arms always get wide when he wants to stop people from movement forward.
So we could do it for all of your schools.
The thing is, he's probably a really nice guy. I just have this one memory of him, of a 25-year-old teacher trying to do his job. I'm just shitting all over him.
Fuck you, bro. Don't get to do your job with people who don't even go there anymore, bro. I'm going to watch people litter and not help. Fuck you, bro.
Nathan, were you also getting a little buzz on here this evening?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. All right. I'm just curious.
All right, scoring out our number threes here. Mitch, you're getting the full 3 points for being nice to a diabetic. Nathan, you're getting 2 points because I think you littered. I respect your scramble to knock down authority, but I think you left some popcorn behind.
I'll never admit it.
Wow. That's fine.
Wow.
That's fine. That is fine. Continuing with Snake Round, we're going to stay with Mr. Nathan for his number 2. What do you have for us?
All right, this has to do with college for kids. Yay!
What the hell is that?
So college for kids. Oh, great program.
Is that high school?
What a great thing. No, so this was at Monmouth College, and kids from all over the area were eligible to go, and it lasted for 2 weeks. And you would take like 3 or maybe 4 classes on the campus at Monmouth College. Now, Monmouth College is a very small campus, but it was definitely bigger than my junior high building or wherever it was I was at the time, which was one hallway. And so you would sign up. They would have classes. Different teachers from different districts around the area would have fun little classes. There'd be science classes and history classes, and they'd be very specialized. And so then you would you would get your classes that you're in. You would put your first choice, and then you would put your second choice. Then you would get your schedule, and then you would take your little backpack and your folders, and you would get to walk from building to building. And you would get to meet kids from other schools in the area who you'd already met because we lived in a really tiny area. But it was a good chance to spend some time with my friends from other districts. That was pretty cool.
Were you allowed to talk to the college kids?
Oh, this was in summer. There was nobody. Monmouth College has an enrollment of like 1,000, so there was nobody there.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could take like a theater class, or there was like a journalism class or whatever. Anyways, it was pretty fun. You ate in the cafeteria. You felt like you were a really big college student when you were 12. So it's pretty.
They needed a reason to keep the faculty employed for 3 months. That's basically what I'm hearing.
Did you sleep over at the campus?
Oh no. There would be we would carpool. One of the parents from Roseville would take up a van load of children at a time, or several, and it was a rotating thing. And then we would have a meetup point at the end of the day at like 3:00, where another one of the parents from Roseville would haul us all back home, the 12 miles to get home from College for Kids.
A van full of children, a memoir by Nathan.
Yeah.
Did you ever take umbrage with the term kids in this? Because it sounds like it's written in crayon and like 4 different colors, like.
Well, I'm getting to that point, which is also at Monmouth College at this point in time. They had the Monmouth College basketball camp. Now, the geniuses who ran Monmouth College decided that these had to happen at the same time. So this meant that some kids at basketball camp, and I saw this because I was at basketball camp before I was at College for Kids, some of these kids would miss the first day of basketball camp, or the first half of the day, and then they would come to basketball camp at the second half of the day. And these older kids would just roast these people for going to College for Kids, which was a perfectly wholesome and fun summer experience. And then all these kids whose parents didn't care about their education and just shuffled them off to basketball camp would be like, oh, here come the College for Kids crew, nerds, and stupid stuff like that. And so anyways, it rolls around where it's time for me to do both. And my mother and I, we just argued so long about this because I was like, no, I'm not going to College for Kids. I'm a basketball player. I want to play basketball, and I don't want to get made fun of. So I think the first year my mom went out, and I had to split time, and I got made fun of. So I just had to kick people's asses extra hard on the basketball court. But
take it on the chin. Yeah.
But then later, as the years rolled by, eventually I won the battle. And my mom was like, okay, first week you go to College for Kids. Second week you can just go to basketball camp. But the basketball camp was only 4 days. So the 5th day I could go back to College for Kids for the last day. So I joined it. It was like a broadcasting class where they were going to make a news broadcast. And so cool. I got paired up with 2 people, and we were going to do like a remote segment, or it was like a sports segment. And so we spent like the whole first week working on it. And I don't know why I did this. I have no idea why I did this. But I didn't tell the College for Kids professor or the people in my group that I wasn't going to be there for the next 4 days. I just didn't tell them. And so I leave, and I go to basketball camp for 4 days. And then I come back for some reason and go to 1 day for all of the end of my classes. Each time I go in, everybody's like, where the hell have you been? Our half of the group project isn't done, blah, blah, blah. And then at this like broadcasting one, I come in and they're just like, dude, you left us with like all of this work and whatever. And I'm like, well, sorry, I had to play some basketball. And then I watched the broadcast. And there was this wonderful moment where the 2 of my 2 teammates are sitting at like a fake news desk. And then they say, okay, and now over to Nathan with the blah, blah, blah. And then I'm not there because they didn't have the capacity to re-edit it when they realized I wouldn't be coming back.
Oh, you little shit.
Really showing your kid there. Not very college, I feel like, in that move. So
I don't know why. I was just too embarrassed to say, like, oh, by the way, I'm going to be gone for 4 days instead I'm going
to leave you with all the work and completely fuck you over.
And then did you realize you were coming back and then you would have to face all that news?
I think I probably figured I would be able to weasel out of that last day because it would have been pointless for me to go.
Presentation day?
You definitely littered. That was all your litter on the field, for sure.
Also, college for kids sounds like some sort of like juvenile delinquent rehab clinic. Like, yeah, I got sentenced to college for kids, but hopefully I'll make it out alive. All right, I got to keep this trainer moving here. Mitch, what was your number 2, sir?
My number 2 is the best way to end any day at camp. You climb into your bunk, you get into your sleeping bag, you zip it all the way up, you stare at the ceiling. It's dark. And then you and all your bunkmates, you do Roses and Thorns. And it's, of course, inspired by the song, Every Rose Has Its Thorn. And
for that one?
Cowboy has a sad song. So you have your rose of the day. What's the best thing that happened today? Your thorn, the worst part of the day, of course. And, people, normally it's like, guys, my rose was, I was in the crafts, and I was just about to finish my macaroni frame with the picture of me and my dog in it, and Sarah came over, and she let me borrow her scissors, and I touched her skin a little bit, and it was really great. You'd be like, wow, dude, that's awesome. You got close to Sarah today, and then the thorn would be like, I accidentally pooped my pants, and I had to sneak out of capture the flag, and I had to come back in here without anyone knowing, and I had to clean up with a Axe gentleman wipe, and then I could rejoin the game. So Roses and Thorns span the gauntlet. Of course, sometimes you're a little too vulnerable, and people make fun of you. I had one bunkmate. I don't remember. I think his name was Adam, but he had come to camp alone, which is also kind of a red flag. I feel like either that kid, like his parents hate him, or he's probably going to be like, like a sad, lonely boy, it's like, and so you probably need to like try and help bring him into the flock a little bit.
How did he get there?
Well, his parents drop him off, but like you go to camp with friends. Like it's insanity to go to camp without knowing anyone when it's like a 10-day.
Really? I feel like that's what camp is.
10-day sleepaway camp? Oh, you absolutely should have at least one bro there or gal.
I mean, that totally makes sense, but this is the whole reason why I never did camp.
That's what
said nobody else that would want to go to camp.
Oh my God. Camp is the best. But so, I mean, Adam might share something a little too much, and then it goes quiet, and then no one knows what to say. And you're like, oh God, Adam's weird. And then, maybe the counselor, if they're on their feet quick enough, will step in and say something. And at camp too, counselors always seem like they're 30 years old, but they're only 15 or 16, They're
just a few years older than you.
And I remember one year, my last year at camp, we made fun of my counselor because we were closed-minded 12-year-olds, but he told us he was really into LARPing, live action role play, and him and his friends had just finished their full collection of padded weapons. And
nice.
He had just gotten a call from his friend to say that they'd scheduled like their biggest LARP of the season, and it was going to be after that week of camp, and he was very excited for it. And
you guys tore this kid apart.
We roasted our counselor. Yeah. So, yeah. So,
poor guy.
Yeah, do you guys have any thorns or roses you want to tell me about right now? Just dead silence. I just want you guys to tell me something, about your week. That's all. I just want to know because we're friends, and I want to know about your lives. That's it. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's okay. Continue.
That was it. It was one of my favorite parts of camp. You'd stare up at the ceiling, and you'd unburden
being
yourself.
Being vulnerable / and or roasting the hell out of somebody for letting their heart out.
Exactly. So
touching a girl's skin, good. Revealing that you have a bunch of buddies with a common interest that you're so excited for an upcoming event. Fuck that guy.
Exactly.
Jesus.
We were stupid young children. We were very dumb.
Kids are the absolute worst.
We are.
Mitch, you're going to get 2 points for this round.
Thank you.
And Nathan, you left your whole group hanging. That's 1 point. How could you do that? As someone who hates group activities, mainly because there's always a Nathan in the group. Mitch can attest to this. The first class we ever met in, we had a Nathan in our group.
Oh,
she did nothing.
Yep.
To the point where we had to complain and get somebody else added to our group to finish the assignment and kick her ass out.
We were those
That's
guys.
How I met Brian. That's
Yeah.
how I met Brian, is because I was doing a group project. Mitch was acting in it, and one of my group guys completely didn't show. And Mitch was like, "I got a ringer," and it was Brian, and that's how we met.
So thank God there are Nathans out there, because this is why this holy triumvirate exists. Okay,
Brian, unholy triumvirate, unholy triumvirate.
Yes,
there we go. Yeah.
Yes, correct. All right, number one. Back to Nathan. What do you have?
There's no jokes here. This is just very simple, wonderful memory. This was the University of Illinois had the many basketball camps, but they used to offer a father-son camp. And so I went when I was either 11 or 12, and my dad and I went, and we stayed in the dorm together, and we got to play basketball. It was, father-son teams and different drills. And the Illinois players were there as like our coaches, the like guys who were actually playing on the team. And Sergio McClain being the big one who all of you Illinois high school basketball fans of the 90s will remember. Lon Kruger was the coach who later coached the Atlanta Hawks, and I think he's in Oklahoma or something now. But
Lon Kruger, wig or not a wig?
Oh, I was up close and personal. I can say 100% that had to be a wig.
Okay, yeah,
that thing could not be real. But he actually changed my shooting form, permanently, which was kind of cool. Yeah, he saw me shooting, and he came up and he was like, "You're holding it like on your fingers. You need to let it rest just on the finger pad a little bit more. You'll have more control." And he was right. He changed my shot forever. But
you're still only shooting 33%.
I'm only shooting 98% from the line. I know,
okay.
Terrible. But it was great. I mean, my dad had gone to law school there, and so he was familiar with the campus, and so it was a bit nostalgic for him. And I think he had a lot of fun sharing that experience with me. And we both love basketball, and we met some other cool, father-son teams, and just had fun playing basketball together and meeting the players. And I remember staying in the dorm. Now my dad can fall asleep. I can't fall asleep. So my dad actually revealed to me that he still knew Morse code. He had learned it at one point. And he was like before bed when we were just bored, he was like, here, let me try this one on you. And he like said a sentence about like Lon Kruger and the Illini in Morse code. I remember that very well. That was pretty cool. But yeah, it was just a really great weekend with my dad. And I wasn't really a college basketball fan before that. But then, for the rest of my high school years, Illinois had really good teams, and we had met those guys, and it was just a lot of fun.
Did your dad tap on the wall, or was he sitting there going beep 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 beep?
It was vocalized.
Vocalized Morse. That's doubly impressive.
Mm-hmm.
When Lon Kruger was fixing your shooting motion or your touch or whatever, were you in the middle? Did you look over at your dad and there was just a look of blind rage and jealousy in his eyes because he wasn't teaching you that?
No. I think it was just disappointment that he hadn't caught the hitch in my shot first.
Sure.
He's sitting there tapping his foot in Morse code. This fucking son of a bitch. Teaching my son.
No. And in the middle of it, Lon turns to George and goes, "George, cool it.
He's picking up the vibrations in the floor. I got all of that, sir. All right, Mitch, what do you got? Number one, lay it on us.
My number one, this is just such a classic camp activity, and it's in movies, it's in television shows, and I got to experience it firsthand, and that is watching the kid who vows to not poop at camp do their very best to never poop at camp. One of my, I think Nathan, you are the I will never want to poop at camp kid, probably, if you don't have to. Isn't that true?
I mean, I didn't love it, but
okay.
I would do it if necessity dictated.
Sure. So one of my best friends, John, was the I will not poop at camp kid. John was a man of particular tastes. He loved his home ice, if you will. And he always drank the salad dressing when he was done with a salad. He loved extra vinegary. He was a man of certain taste.
What kind of dressing?
Homemade.
That's your question?
Oil and vinegar with salt and pepper and like maybe a little lemon. Yeah, he was a big dressing guy. I tell you what, a man of certain tastes.
Okay. Yeah. He's chugging thick ass ranch.
Yeah. No.
It's a different kind of guy. No. They're both weird, but continue.
John had a very lithe, bird body. He's very thin guy. And then also he loved those thin little Italian breadsticks too. Those are the three things you could set your watch to for John. The dry ones,
gross.
Yeah. But so at camp, John is like, I am not pooping. And
how long is the camp?
10 days.
What?
10 days.
Oh, that's too long, bud.
The last year we went, it was a 10-day camp, and we're like, we love this because we wanted more camp, we wanted more flirting, we wanted more meet me in the saunas.
Permanent damage to our intestines.
Exactly, that too.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love an impacted colon, right? It's incredible. On day 7, John finally was like, guys,
7.
Guys, I can't do it anymore. And like day 1, 2, 3, 4, normal activity from John. 5 and 6, he started to move a little slower. He wasn't eating as much. Like he was literally, his system was like, you could tell he was trying to like conserve himself because he's like, I just don't want to have to do this. And it's not like these bathrooms were just like, 8 pieces of lumber with like a metal bucket inside. Like this was a proper bathroom you could go in. So he gathered me and our friends, and he's like, you guys, I need total privacy to be able to do this, to have the confidence to get this squirrel out of my ass, essentially. And so he had to stand guard at the bathroom door, and he was in there for, I shit you not, thank you, 40 minutes. And he finally came out, and I remember he still had a pained look on his face, and I will always remember this moment.
He ripped his asshole open.
I will never forget this moment. He comes out and he kind of like readjusts like the waistband of his shorts, and he looks at me and he kind of sheepishly goes, "It's not all out," and then just like then starts walking away. And I'm like, "Oh my god!" So then on the very last day before we got like back in the van in our big carpool back to the cities, he did go one more time, but yeah. He got mercilessly mocked for it, though, by me and our other friend Michael and Morgan.
Rightfully so.
Right? Yeah, it was like, John, it's gonna kill you. Like, it's gonna
kill you.
It's gonna come back up and choke you in your sleep. Just poop. So, yeah.
Holy cow.
I feel disgusted.
That's amazing.
Isn't that
7 days?
Isn't that kind of incredible? Yeah. So, it just makes me think there's a weird kid in Wet Hot American Summer that has some sort of bugaboo like that. So, which Wet Hot, best camp movie there is,
for sure.
One of the best, at least. Yeah.
But I could never want to voluntarily be that uncomfortable.
Isn't that just like I get not showering because you're swimming in the lake every day. Like maybe I get that where like, you want to go au natural or whatever, but not pooping that's just dangerous. So, and
I don't know if I'm at camp, I'm showering every day and I'm shitting as soon as the sun rises.
Exactly.
Like I gotta be fresh for that whole day. I can't be running around playing sports with a belly full of junk. I can't be doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And this camp, you played capture the flag. You played like sprint across the field kind of games, whatever. There was like, you had to lay down and do riflery. I mean, there was a lot of movement going on.
If this guy got tackled in football on accident,
yep,
it would have been like stepping on a ketchup packet in a parking lot. This poor guy would have died.
Yep.
Because it's only got two directions to go. One kills him, one relieves him.
Yep.
He's got a 50-50 chance of survival.
Yeah. So
playing touch football.
So, yeah. That's my number one.
Oh,
That's my number one. Classic.
3 points.
Classic
3
camp
points.
trope. Yeah, there it is. So
that was just the imagery you gave me. 3 points all around.
Dankeschön.
And then Nathan, for that wholesome story, you're also getting 3 points.
Aww.
The fact that George knows Morse code, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I know who I'm calling during the apocalypse, which means I better learn Morse code to get in contact with him before that happens. But that leaves us with 2 final scores. Yep. But I'm going to give one more opportunity for any pranks that may have happened to you or under your own doing for some bonus points here. Mitch, I feel like you got one in the can.
Absolutely. I totally forgot about it. So, one prank we played, this is the one time at this camp, all the girls slept up in the lodge. So the lodge is a giant building. They slept on the 2nd floor. All the boys were in cabins. The one time I went into the lodge, me and my friend Morgan, we went up and we hid. This is really hilarious. We hid vegetables from the kitchen in the sleeping bags of the girls that we liked and knew in their bunk beds. Yeah. So
Nathan's worst nightmare.
Right? Imagine slipping into your cold, cool sleeping bag at night and a zucchini is tickling your toes.
Nathan will not sleep tonight.
Brussels sprouts are just covered all over your body, falling into your mouth. Ooh. Yeah. So
I don't want a raw Brussels sprout in my mouth. Gross.
Yeah. So, that's barely a prank. It's not a great one. But
it still counts. Nathan, do you have a rebuttal?
No, I only went to basketball camp. It was just the stealing pizzas was about as pranky as it was.
You never tied someone's shoelaces together when you were lined up for a free throw?
No.
Oh God, that's a classic. Okay, all right.
No, he'd rather just leave the college kids to fend for themselves. All right. Either way, the score was 13, Mitch. Nathan, 11. Plus 1 to Mitch. You're getting 14 to Nathan's 11 for your prank story. Congratulations. But we can't leave today. I'll do it one more time.
Thank you.
Without my top 5 reasons why I am not built for camp. Now, number 5. I got city Irish skin, folks. All right. The worst sunburn I ever got was filling up water balloons on my parents' driveway when I was like 10. I had my back to the sun for maybe 30 minutes while I filled about 50 balloons. And I did not get to enjoy those balloons because 1, I was laid up as an aloe-soaked lobster for about a week. And 2, my dad said if I popped all those balloons on the lawn, I'd have to pick up the rubber so he could mow the grass. So there the balloons sat. Number 4. My blood is a gourmet feast for the mosquitoes of the woods. I've never been referred to as a snack until I arrived in the wilderness. These bloodsuckers are drawn to me like shit on a cracker. Yeah, it spreads easily, but no one wants it. The only time I ever felt truly protected was when some ex-army guy on a hiking trail offered us to spray down with his military-grade DEET. And I swear to God, that shit worked. All right. Number 3, I have 2 left feet. I spent 2 days at Camp Timberley in Wisconsin in 6th grade. We should have known this trip was doomed when it was delayed by 9/11. True story.
Oh.
But yet we rescheduled for October of 2001. I got to participate in Lake Study, where they told us to bring clothes we could just throw away while we sifted through mosquito-infested water for insects and other creatures to put in a jar. My fully submerged gym shoes caught a branch, and I tumbled face first into the murky lake. Oh. And while everyone laughed, I just became a ball of anger and walked back to the bunk past the kids who were fishing using corn as bait.
Wow.
Number 2.
Oh, Brian. Oh.
Things always go missing because I'm stupid. In seventh grade, I attended a 2-week band camp at ISU in Bloomington Normal. Everyone else got the memo to bring a master lock with them because we were going to a pool. That memo skipped my desk, and I had to place everything in the bottom locker, rest the door shut, and hope for the best. When the swim was over, I returned to see all my stuff, including my wallet with all the cash I needed for the rest of the trip, stolen. Well, luckily, I had an uncle that lived down there that brought me some cash, and he was a former Redbird himself, so I made it through, but thus began my lack in faith in humanity. That's right, their fault, not mine. Moving on. Number 1, no AC or fans for sleeping. Luckily, the only camp I slept in was in breezy fall weather. If I had to sleep in a real camp, I would die. It wasn't because of the lack of sleep. It would be the amount of water I would secrete from my head into my pillow every night. Therefore, camp is stupid. That's this week's edition of Über Cinco. Crawling from the lake with milky skin and red worm-like hair has been...
Mitch break bad.
And hiding in the stainless steel fridge after put on knife washing duty has been...
Nathan Henson.
And I've been your big wet summer camp boy, Brian Ernst. And as Biz Bear always says, you can never pack too much underwear. Disaster is just one cough or sneeze away. Auf Wiedersehen and adios.
You've just listened to Über Cinco, a production of UBK Studios. Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your fine podcasts from.
If you like what you hear and want to support the show, please visit our Patreon site at patreon.com/UBK Studios. Every little bit helps us keep the lights on and the bill collectors at bay.
Keep tabs on us on all the social media at UBK Studios, and most importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can see that we really are just a bunch of good Midwestern boys.